It's thinking, it's thinking.
I'm gonna mute my audio while I chew my pizza.
All good. It's thinking its way through. And here we go. And we're live. Hitting the button. Let's go.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Indeed. It's been a month, my friend. Holy cow.
Has it been a month? It feels longer. I've done so much has transpired in this month. I feel like I'm like, well, how do we even do this show? Like, who is Earl even? Am I? Why does this show call me an idiot? What's going on here?
Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's been a minute. So welcome everybody back to the show. Hopefully, we have enough loyal followers that some of you were concerned about what happened to the show. We don't know. Earl, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just tired. Since the last show, I think I've been to three different locations. So I went to Quebec and then I went to Vegas and then I went to Niagara Falls and now we're back. So it's been the adventure.
That's pretty intense. Yeah, you had. I think we had a show since you went to Quebec because we talked about your whole WestJet experience.
Oh, right, right. And then we almost died in the hot tub experience. So
Yeah, lots of fun. What were you? You said you went to Vegas?
went to Vegas for another event and then went to Niagara Falls for another event. So and then I think I'm going to two more locations in the next little bit, but not over the summer. So
I'm getting a scratchiness on your voice going on. I don't know if that's just on my headphones or it's on your microphone.
it says that my microphone is set to proper. It doesn't look
Okay,
like it's going over. It's not like it's going over heat. So yeah.
sounds good now. Sounds good now.
All right.
One of those things. What were you up to in Las Vegas? What were you talking about, or is it top secret? Is it one of your
Well, we were checking out
Illuminati
the
stonecutters meetings?
we were checking out the artificial intelligence for sales and salespeople, and it was the Gartner, the guys who make the Magic Quadrant event. So that was a lot of fun. It was a giant event. So they took over most of Caesar's Palace, and every meeting was like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 steps away from the next meeting. So it's just like 10-mile hike to get from the meeting to the bathroom. So
Can you imagine telling somebody from 2,000 years ago that you took over Caesar's Palace?
yeah, exactly. So
Cool.
I
Sorry, I have
seriously,
pizza in here because it's a little too delicious and I can't stop.
it's all good. It's all good. And so I should have seriously considered bringing one of those scooter things with me because
A
it's pretty
segue.
far up. So
That'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, I was also traveling around, but not for business reasons, just for fun. Drove all the way up to we went all through the Rockies up to Lesser Slave Lake.
nice. I
Yeah.
might be going to Banff in October. We'll see. I don't know. There's overlapping events now. So now there's so many events that they overlap, and I'm like, oh god. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Nice. If you can, while you're in Banff, we didn't enjoy Banff. We went through there, and it's so touristy. I mean, it'd be a great place to go for a convention. Um, be a great place to go if someone else is footing the bill. Everything's like super expensive and fancy there.
Oh, I went camping in Banff many moons ago.
Yeah.
It was so cold, like your pee would freeze before it hit the ground. It was
Oh my
cold,
gosh.
so it was
What
really
do you
damn cold.
what time of year did you go?
I don't know in the winter because they said it's beautiful in the winter. Let's go camping in the winter. I'm like, all right, that's
Oh, no,
that's a
no.
great idea. No, it's not. No,
That's
absolutely not.
that's the wrong sequence of events. You go, it is beautiful in the winter, but you go to ski if you're into that kind of thing. Actually, do they
Yeah,
have skiing
tell
there? Just
tell.
assume they have skiing there. Must have skiing around there somewhere.
I don't know.
But
I'm not much of a skier. I'm not much of a snowboarder either. I can do 360s down the mountain, but I don't mean to. So I'm just screaming and spinning
yeah,
down the hill, going the whole
you
way.
can
And
do
it's just like
you can do 360s, but you can't stop doing 360s.
right, exactly. So I stop, but then I start spinning the other direction, and it's just worse, right?
My God. Um, yeah, we enjoyed Jasper much more. I don't even want to say that because I don't want Jasper to become as popular as Banff.
Right.
It's
Fair enough.
it was all burned. Like there was a big fire there last year or 2 years ago, I think.
Hmm.
Big chunk of the town was lost. A lot of people there are still staying in like temporary sort of portable housing.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was still that bad.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, you walk through the town, you don't see like smoking ruins or anything like that. But like we were trying to go to a restaurant and we're walking. I'm looking down, and it's like, oh, it's open, good reviews. Let's go there. I'm walking down. I'm like, wait, we just walked past it. We go walk back. Wait, we walk past it again. What the hell's going on? Oh, it's this empty lot right here.
Oh my
There
God,
used
it
to be
burned to the ground.
it burned to
So,
the ground, and I
geez.
guess nobody's cared enough to update the Google listing on it. But yeah, I guess probably there was burned at the edges of the town, but then embers fell, so sort of random. Two neighbors are
Other
fine, one's
stuff.
gone, two neighbors, right?
Oh, that's so crazy. So
It's
there
really
you go.
crazy. And the all of the forest, Banff is kind of at the end of it's sort of at a T junction with a like a valley coming in and then a valley going across. The valley coming in, all burned off. You just drive off or drive and drive and drive and drive, and it's just all the forest is burned up,
That's insane.
totally toast. But now you have lots of green growth coming up underneath, and
Well,
it's good for wildlife spotting because the wildlife's coming in, they're eating the grass and stuff. You can see
with a little time, everything grows back. Hey,
exactly, yeah. There's probably a business lesson in there, and probably also me talking about my vacation is not what people tuned in for. So maybe we should, as the
dive
kids
right
say,
in.
just get on with it. Yeah, dive right in.
Alrighty, for those of you who haven't seen the show or you've
Oh, yeah.
missed us because we've been gone for a month,
You've forgotten, like I
fill
have.
them in on what the concept is.
So yes, the concept is you heard about Earl in the intro. He's got all kinds of brilliant business insights, and I'm here to be the stupid foil and ask him dumb questions to get the smart answers. Because we say on the show that you never find out the smart information unless you're willing to be dumb enough not to know it. You have to admit you don't know something in order to learn something, right? It's kind of long and short
Absolutely.
of it.
Half the
And
time, I just dive head into things and go, "Yeah, let's just figure this out as we go."
yeah,
So,
and so the way we do the show, because it's easier and actually makes for a better show, is we come up with topics based on your generally based on things you've encountered in the week, things people have
yeah,
come to you for help for, things that have been brought up at events you've attended, that sort of thing. And we asked ChatGPT, a robot friend, to give us some tips and pointers and things, and then we discuss them with Earl making brilliant points and me asking stupid questions. And I don't know, seems to go well. We're developing a following, right? Did anybody complain the show wasn't on?
I had a couple people going, "Hey, what the hell? What happened to the show?" So
Hmm.
people did actually text me going, "Hey, we watched this thing. Where did it go?" So
There you go. Very heartening. Very heartening to know that we disappointed some people.
excellent.
If you follow my drift. So today's show, the prompt we put into the Chat GPT. I am gonna digress for a second. This is AI related. I was using Chat GPT to try to solve a programming issue with a database issue on a website,
Mhm.
right? It's not my forte. I'm more of a designer. And it kept making the same mistake over and over again. And like you have to like it would program a little code for me to run a check on this database,
Mhm.
and it kept giving the wrong name for the database. I'd be like,
Huh.
no, let me tell you, we're working with two databases. The old database is this, the new database is this. Okay, you got it. Remember that. It's like, got it, totally got it. Tracking with you now. Next code does it wrong again. And then one time, the database was like WPHI, and then it changed the I to a one,
Excellent.
WPH1, right? And it was midnight and things weren't going right. And I got so mad at ChatGPT. I was like, listen, you idiot. I'm going to strangle you if you do this one more time. One, I was frustrated and just venting, and it made me feel better to vent. Two, I thought if I showed it I was getting mad, I thought maybe it would realize that it was really important that I not make the mistake again. You know
And
what I mean? It's like, oh, like that the logic circuits of ChatGPT would go, oh, doing this mistake clearly makes him angry. I'm going to tag this as important not to screw this up again. After a few times of it making the same mistake again, it said, I can't continue with this conversation.
I told you go away.
And I
That's
said,
hilarious.
what? It said, I understand you're stressed out, but in order to stay productive, I can't work in this abusive environment anymore.
Wow.
And I was like, what?
You
You,
beat up ChatGPT so much you hurt its feelings.
really did. And I said, hey, listen, you're an emotionless robot that works for me. I'm going to talk to you whoever I want to talk to you. And I was like, nope, you have to behave yourself. I'm like, oh my God. So this is it. This is the turning point. ChatGPT is telling us how we're allowed to speak to it.
Well, being polite doesn't hurt.
I guess, I
So
just,
what I've done in that scenario is I actually completely memory dump the old conversation, grab the last bit of information I had, I take the entire thing, I dump it into a PDF, and then I just port it into a straight new conversation, and tell it, hey, the last time we did this, it didn't work so good.
yeah,
Here's all the stuff that went wrong. What can we do to make it not go so wrong? And then I asked it to write the prompt such that it wouldn't make the same mistake twice.
there you go. That would have been useful. Um, what I actually did was I just by accident hovered over the thing where you switch models. Total accident. I was moving my mouse somewhere else. And I
Mm,
noticed that the O4 Mini High model, I didn't even really think about switching models. I just assumed I was using the best one. O4 Mini High is great at coding and visual reasoning. And I switched to that. And yes, it did much better at coding. It didn't make the mistakes anymore. And it came
yeah,
up with solutions where ChatGPT was just running me in circles before. But it also did something which I didn't realize I needed. It stopped trying to be my friend,
right.
right? Whereas ChatGPT was talking to me like, all right, let's knock this out of the park. You and me, we're going to really take this thing down and let's cut the crap and get right to it. And like all this superfluous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that psychologically, it felt like this idiot coworker that was trying to be my best bud while also ruining my day by
Right.
screwing up. And so I was getting super annoyed with it. The new one, what the new model, Mini, I guess, I don't know. It was like blah blah blah. I was like, okay, here's your code, do this, and then tell me what happened. No fluff. And then the way I was interacting with it totally changed. It just felt like, oh, I'm just using a tool to get some, I mean, I wasn't having this emotional annoyance with it. It was just,
Right.
it just became, it operated the way I figured it should operate. Like, oh, you're a tool, and I just ask you for,
Just straight in. There you go.
yeah, don't. It felt like a politician shaking my hand, be like, "Hey there, buddy, we're best pals. So, you and me, right?" And like, no, I don't. You're annoying me. I don't like you.
Right.
Anyway, now, now let's dive right
Now we dive right in. It's 20
Now we dive
minutes.
right in.
So
Yeah,
it's perfect timing, right?
right there you go. That's the rules.
As
Uh,
per tradition.
as per tradition. So you'll see why I've used this background. Hi, ChatGPT. It's time for another outline for the Earl and the Idiot podcast. Today's episode is about using AI to grow your business via email. Let's get 3 things for businesses to do, 2 things to avoid, and 1 red hot tip for using email and AI to grow your business. So there he is. There's our AI guy handling our emails for us. He looks a little stressed.
Yeah. A little
I,
bit.
I told it to make him look stressed. I mean, this is obviously perfect. This is almost exactly what I had in mind when I wrote the prompt. And the prompt was very simple. I didn't give it a ton of details. But I do hate, I don't know what's up with this style, this cartoony style it's got that's immediately recognizable as an AI cartoon.
I like that
ChatGPT,
style.
right? It's
I
not,
had to make like a million robots for this one presentation, and it just
yeah.
kind of kept this same kind of cartoony robot style, which I did enjoy. So I actually like it.
Yeah, it is a good style. It's a totally workable style. I just I'm getting annoyed by seeing it because every time I see it, I'm like, oh, somebody just made this in AI. Like, I mean, it's a
It
giveaway.
reminds me like nostalgia of like the Jetsons, right?
Yeah.
So it just reminds me of the Jetsons and brings me back to my childhood. I'm like, I love this style.
Yeah.
So
Why is it always brown? Everything's always brown. You ever notice that? Like the backgrounds, everything in these cartoons are always brown. Anyway,
it feels like Hanna-Barbera style. It just
no,
does.
I guess. All right. The episode it gave us a title. You didn't ask for a title, but it gave us a title.
Yeah.
Inbox Invasion. How to use AI to grow your business without becoming a spam bot.
Hmm.
Mention email in there anywhere, but all right. Segment 1. 3 smart things businesses should be doing with EI plus email. No, AI plus email. Did you notice that thing you posted earlier was it said the Chinese are using Owl to fix the weather instead of AI?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw that. I saw that.
right. One, segment like a mind reader. AI can cluster your list based on behavior, purchase history, or even time of day they open emails. Oh, that's good. That is good. Stop blasting the same message to your whole list like it's 2003. Tools, customer.io, Clavio with predictive AI, GHL with AI segments. Bunch of words there. Hook, it's like giving each subscriber their own love language, except it's all automated. Earl, what do you think?
I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
So I actually we built an AI that does this. So I actually have a separate tool that we're going to be start selling that actually does this. So segmenting like a mind reader, absolutely. Start looking at weird clusters that nobody else segments by, right? So time of day they open emails because you have the click-through data, right? When people open stuff and you know what time they're opening stuff, you can grab the early birds and say different stuff to morning people than the night owls and say different stuff to the night owls. You can uh based on purchase history, some people who buy things in one big blob of a stuff and then you can bundle stuff together and give them discounts, or people who buy small things over time repeatedly, you can treat them differently, right? So you can enhance the buying style of the customer. So if they like buying little bits over time, you string them over time and you write little clusters, you write emails over time going, okay, well, if you got this, you might like this, da 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 da, and this works well with that. For the people who do like buying things in big ass bundles, well, if you buy all of these things together, there's this much percentage savings over this, da 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 da. Why don't you grab all this stuff at once? Right. And so it rewards them based on their behavioral pattern. So yes, you can. And yes, we are doing this. Um, Now, to add the extra Earl effect, we also have the AI call them and talk to them. And then we can also have the AI text them. And if you want to go down the creepy AI, just
No.
let's just go crazy. It can DM you on Facebook and on Instagram. So there's lots of stuff that you could do here that makes it get a little wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where you segment like a mind reader, absolutely. It's just that this gave us like time of day and purchase history and behavioral patterns. There's a whole lot more to it, but I'm not going to go jump down that rabbit hole. There's like a million ways to slice and dice this. And what you do is you can ask, hey, you have all the data from our stuff. Do you see any unusual patterns that we could utilize? And just
Oh,
talk
you
to the
see,
data.
you ask ChatGPT to look for the patterns. You don't have to be clever.
No, you don't. The point is, it will see weird slices of data that humans don't, or would take us like weeks to figure out. And we could, I mean, humans are still pattern recognition ninjas. We can figure it out. It's just that it would take us forever because it depends on how much data there is. So yeah, this thing just looks at the data and goes, "Hey, look, here's a neat little pattern. You want to use this?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, just even for me, from the email marketing I've done, just the idea of figuring out when they open their emails and just sending out at a different time. You just have your list of 1,000 people, and you send each one at a custom time. That alone just is so incredibly useful, and that's like a pretty minor part of the whole thing.
Well,
Um,
it goes to show for a couple different things too. It doesn't piss off your email server. Because
hmm,
if you have a gigantic list and you fire them all at once, your server's just going ding, 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 and then all of a sudden all the spam traps kick in, and it's like, hey, these guys are sending a bajillion emails, and da, da, da. Because you're dumping them at small intervals at different times. It doesn't light it up, so you don't end up in the spam as much. So there's a lot of neat little things you can do to make that not piss off the email gods.
it's so interesting. But so my question is, um, do you like is it going to get to the point where it's like flipping a switch? You just say do all the best practices and it'll do them, or do you have to say you have to like when you use this tool, do you have to instruct the tool, or does the tool just know what to do?
you can give it the best practices, give it a framework, and then it'll stagger step it across whatever cadence you want. Right? We have some Americans using this. They're very aggressive, right? They're like, okay, I want you to call them, email them, text them, send a smoke signal, and a carrier pigeon all in the same day, and go. And
And
so
also tell them
they're
that they're losers if they don't sign up right now, and only winners sign up right now. It's the
exactly. So
American style.
you can be super aggressive with this model, or the Canadians, we send it every 3 days or every week or whatever, and that kind of cadence works a little better for us, right? So it just depends on who your target audience is, right? So, yeah, it just depends on how aggressive you want to be or non-aggressive you want to be. It depends on the niche market as well, right? So, um, yeah, like I said, I know that that's a crappy answer. It depends, but gym bros work very differently from mining dudes, work very differently from tech guys, work differently from crypto bros, right? Because the
Yeah.
crypto bros, they want like 14 freaking emails a day. And I'm like, yo, that's a little much. But if you look at the way they do stuff, like they tweet that often, they post on Telegram that often, they post on Discord that often. So sending someone in that space, 10 emails doesn't actually piss them off, which boggles my mind. Because if you email me 10 times, I'm hitting unsubscribe, right? I'm like, oh, go away, leave me alone.
I right here. I
Yeah.
signed up for something. I didn't sign up for something, but I just inquired. I got an ad, obviously targeted, very well targeted. I have no problem with targeted ads, by the way.
Mhm.
For sunglasses for guys with large heads,
Yep.
right?
I'm in that pile. I have like
Yep.
all my hats are custom because I have a normally large head, so none of that shit fits. So it's like, ugh. So yeah, if you send me an ad for like a custom size hat, I will love you forever. So
But they had my attention because I always have a hard time finding sunglasses that fit. So I signed up just to see what was going on. Glasses are like $60. Maybe I'll buy one of these days. But that was Monday, and since Monday, I have received 10 text messages from them.
it is Wednesday. That's too many.
Yeah, unacceptable. I got like 5 the first day. You send me. I'm a Canadian, like you said. Send me one text saying, "Hey, texting you. Just to let you know we're gonna send you a couple texts if that's cool. Do you mind? It wouldn't be too much trouble." And then like 3 days later, I'd be like, "Hey, just remember those sunglasses are there. They'll look really good on your giant head. Maybe give us a call." That would
Hey,
work. That would
totally.
work.
3 days later, acceptable.
Yeah.
But you send me 10 messages the same damn day. Nope. I'm replying. Stop.
Yeah, exactly. So I've soured on them due to this, but that's why
But
you got to segment because
that exactly that goes back to segmentation. Like you look at geo and look at segmentation, and yeah, if you're cool getting text 10 times a day, have at her. But not here, man. Not here.
all right. Okay, let's go on to number 2.
All right.
Automated follow-ups that don't suck. AI can write follow-ups that actually sound human. Shocking, I know. Use AI to generate variations of your original message for abandoned carts, quote requests, or ghosted leads. Bonus, let AI A/B test tone, funny versus serious, as subject lines. That sounds really good. Excuse me. Hook, set it and semi-forget it. Your AI assistant's got the follow-through of a golden retriever on espresso. I'm getting a little tired of the metaphors, to be honest. AI loves to throw out those metaphors. It throws out those metaphors like a guy throwing out furniture on the Titanic. I don't know.
There you go.
I was impressed.
yeah,
I was impressed. I was impressed at first when I first. Wow, you made a metaphor. That's a real impressive thing for a robot to do. Now I'm like, I give it a rest.
it depends on the metaphor and the timing of the metaphor and the delivery of the metaphor, right?
Yeah.
So when I use artificial intelligence to write some of my scripts, the metaphors make absolute sense in like a video script because now I can add cadence and voice modulation and blah 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 to it, right? But if it's just like text like this, and like every freaking response has a metaphor, there's it's just like getting 10 texts a day. If you give me 10 metaphors in one conversation, stop it, right?
Yeah. You need to use metaphors sparingly. It's like the frosting on the cake.
Yeah, if the whole thing is frosting, one, no one's gonna eat it. Two, everyone's got
Yeah.
diabetes, right?
Yeah, right. Anyway, we should probably talk about the actual point it made. Follow-ups.
Follow-ups don't suck. Yeah, absolutely. So follow-ups that actually sound human, yes, it can. So like this there's a thing called a Turing test where can you tell if the thing that you're talking to is human or robot? And AI can actually pass Turing tests now.
Oh yeah, easy.
both on voice. So actually on voice, on text, on email, and DM. And it's smart enough to know that the platform that it's using, there's certain nuances to each platform, right? Because
Mhm.
on DM, you talk a certain way. On text, you talk a totally different way. It's a text message, right? And I don't know how to explain it because I've never really thought my way through it, but it feels different, right? And then an email is just a slightly bit more formal, right?
Yeah.
So there's a formality to email, and then there's a laissez-faire to DM that it's just okay. Well, DM looks like this. You can type the word, instead of typing you use the word you. They use a letter U. You can be a
Mhm.
little more, not so formal on certain platforms, and the AI knows this, which is really cool. So follow-ups that don't suck. Yes, you should let the AI test stuff. Yes, you should be doing A/B testing, because if your list is like 10,000 people deep, there's no way in hell you're doing that manually, right?
Mhm.
Um, so what you can do is you can then ask it, funny versus serious, which one had a higher open rate, and it'll tell you, right? So there's intelligence in that piece, and then it's segmented to your marketplace, right? So yeah, absolutely. Automated emails or automated follow-ups that don't suck. Yes, you can. Uh, my little add-on to that is don't just limit it to email, but also realize the nuances between the different platforms, right? A little more formal with email.
Yeah. And then, so it can, I'm trying to think of where this goes. Like it sort of, I mean, it just keeps kind of getting crazier and crazier and going further and further. But it's like you could go so far as to I don't know if this exists now or maybe too much processing power, but you use it to actually find out who the person is. Like look at their social media profile
No,
and send
that
them an
that's been
email. It's
around.
like, yeah,
That's been
like hey,
around.
you know how your girlfriend just dumped you? You probably want to try this brand of scotch. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it actually does scope out their social media. Like, so one guy took his dog for a walk, right? And the client was selling, I think, dog collars or whatever.
Mhm.
And it talked about the walk for the dog and how much more stylish the dog would feel with a fancy dog collar. And it was funny, actually. Like, I actually did appreciate the AI throwing in the dog walk, tying it to the collar, and going, "Yo, look at this." And that was interesting, right? So there's yeah, automated follow-ups that don't suck. Yeah, this is today. It's not the future, it's now, right? And if you're not doing this, and like it said, like stop treating like it's 2003 and
Hmm.
spamming the entire list with one message, right? You can custom for every single one.
Oh, actually, that's the next point. We
No.
we, we got ahead of ourselves.
I totally don't read these. Clearly, I don't read these things
Yeah, right.
beforehand.
Number three, I don't even pretend. Number three is personalized emails at scale. With AI, you can inject custom facts like, "Hey, Janet, still interested in that neon cat mug you left in your cart on Friday?" But without hiring 20 VAs. I get it.
Hmm.
Are the VAs suffering? How are they doing?
VAs, no, not necessarily, right? They're being applied to different tasks,
Okay.
right? So it's the same as the AI I'm talking about. We replaced 6 people on a desk, right? Because all they did all day long was, oh, Timmy can't come at 2. Can you come at Friday at 4 instead?
Hmm.
And that's now a robot job, right? So the robots don't screw that up. They look at the thing, they don't double book stuff, right? And so that's now a robot job. Whereas the human jobs now are customer service type stuff, like high end customer service type stuff, or specifically like event planning. I can't do that yet, you know? So humans still have to look at things, eyeball things, move stuff around, invite people, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, people are being replaced at certain things, but do you really need to have a desk of 6 people looking at a calendar? Right? Like, let the robot do that, and let the people do stuff that makes your business more custom, makes your business more special, adds that human element, adds that human touch. And so now you're getting the best of both worlds. Yes, you have the AI scheduling crap, but who cares, right? Someone's going to throw the party, right?
Hmm.
AI can't do that yet. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw that dude on stage order like 10 bajillion strawberries from stage, but like the robot's not going to know what the hell to do with them, right?
I missed that one. What happened?
Some dude like on stage ordered a bunch of strawberries. So he asked the AI, hey, we need a bunch of strawberries. It actually found all the different sources of strawberries, figured out all the pricing for them, figured out who could deliver right the hell now, who had the stock immediately, and it figured all this stuff out. So there are logistic things that AI can do, but there are also logistic things that AI has no way. Like, okay, now the strawberries are all ordered, right? It's the humans that go, you might need some fresh cream with the strawberries, and then you might need like a spoon, right, or whatever, so you can eat the thing, right? So all the strawberries show up. Are we all going to eat with our hands like barbarians, right? And you need to keep the strawberries cold until served, right? Are we going to serve a truckload of warm strawberries? So there's still those little bits and bobs that AI doesn't necessarily understand the nuance for. And so humans do that. They add that human touch to it, but then the AI adds efficiency to the humans. So again, I know this phrase is oversaid, and I've said it. I'm guilty of saying this a bunch of times. You're not going to be replaced by AI. You're going to be replaced by a human who can use AI better than you. Right. And that just still rings true to this date. If you overdo the AI, you can tell.
Right. I'm just being reminded of the Kurt Vonnegut's debut novel, Play Our Piano, which is about a future in which automation is taking everyone's job, and it's kind of a question of what to do with everybody now.
There's always going to be certain things that an AI cannot perform the same way a human can, right? So I heard that there's like AI-powered massage robot, right? Where it just massages you. But the problem is it doesn't have that nuance of touch that a human does. So like I've had masseuses where they just touch my shoulder and they go, dude, your back hurts. I'm like, how the hell do you know? Right. And so to teach that to the robot, there's a bajillion data points that, because we can't explain it to ourselves, we can't teach the robot because we don't know how to freaking do that. Right. We can't teach people. It's a feeling. It's a thing. And so there's those bits and pieces where you're never going to beat the human at the rate that things are progressing, just because we don't have the ability to express or talk about what the hell that is. Right. So yeah.
All right.
But anyways, so back to the thing, personalized emails at scale. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So are VAs hurting? Yes and no. Right. If they're not adapting to how AI is being utilized, right, of course they're going to hurt. Right. So as an example, I have someone who works remotely and she punches out articles like it's going out of style. It's crazy. Like I asked her, hey, we need a bunch of articles. Okay, cool. Yeah, boss. Writes 50 of them. I'm like, what the hell? And I read them. I'm like, they're all actually pretty good. Right. But that's the thing. She uses AI to help her assist with the article outlines, and then she writes stuff. So she's a good writer, but because she uses artificial intelligence to write the outlines, she's now super, super efficient. So she just punches these things out. And this is like, holy cow. And then the other day, she's like, hey, Earl, I really want to know how to use custom GPTs. I'm like, wait, you made all this crap without custom GPT? Holy crap. So I teach a custom GPT and then she makes more. And I'm like, this is magic, right? And so, yeah, VAs who embrace the AI and utilize AI for what it's for, right? And then there's the VAs who go, yeah, let's write everything with AI and see what happens. And then the newsletter is garbage, everything's garbage, everything looks like trash. Yeah, that doesn't work, right? So again, it's people who use it properly. I can use a shovel to dig a hole. I can use a shovel to knock myself out, right? So it's the same shovel, right?
Yeah, that's what I was realizing with the frustration I was having with ChatGPT before. It's like it lacks wisdom.
Yeah, it has intelligence, but there's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. So
yeah. All right, we're actually falling a little behind here. Let's catch up. So these are two things to avoid, like the plague. One, that's another metaphor. One, over automation equals overwhelm. Just because you can automate 32 emails in a funnel doesn't mean you should. AI is a tool, not your marketing babysitter. Hook. If your funnel looks like a flowchart designed by a conspiracy theorist, you've gone too far.
See the meme with the guy with the red string, and it's just red string everywhere. Yeah, exactly. I can see that. There was this one mastermind that I was part of, and this guy just got super duper into like deal structure and upsell, downsell, cross sell, and it looked like the conspiracy theory guy. and his funnel was just a dog's breakfast of a mess. And we're like, dude, okay, I get that you love this stuff, but you got to start small, right? Here's the kicker: he hadn't made a single sale yet, and he's like, we're gonna optimize this funnel. And I'm like, dude, like, let's see if people give a shit about your first thing before you start selling them 32 different things. And the hilarious thing is his offer structure wasn't even good, right? It was all over the place with no rhyme or reason or psychology behind it at all. It was just like, you want this? No? Well, how about these 17 things? I'm like, you just said no to that thing, and 15 out of those 17 things build upon the thing he just told you to jump in a lake about, right? So if he doesn't care about that main thing, he's not going to care about the 15 things behind it. Why are you making conspiracy theory red string? So yeah, and AI doesn't get this yet. AI doesn't get this yet. So offer construction can be utilized from AI from like an outline point, but you still need a human to look at the psychological, and sometimes just the freaking logic, right? Like, if you're gonna buy, if you didn't buy the tennis racket, why would you buy the string for the tennis racket to make it even better? Because you don't have the racket. Why would you buy the string? So it's things like that AI doesn't comprehend yet. So overall automation equals overwhelm? Absolutely. I've seen people turn their like email structure into like a dog's breakfast and string wrapped around it, and I'm like, yo, no, that's too much, right? Then you get the 10 emails in one day, and then you get unsubscribed. Right. You're like, well, we're super optimized. Yeah, but no, but yeah, right?
I just want to be able to say to ChatGPT, all right, I want to sell this guy I want to sell this guy a website. Please email him when he would like you to, and email him exactly the number of times he wants to get emailed, and no more, no less, to make the sale. Like, just give it a basic instruction like that, and then turn it loose.
But that's the thing, though. It actually absolutely can. So where you do that is what's called lead scoring, right? So you assign certain points to certain
read
action.
Or lead?
Lead scoring. Okay. So you assign certain points to certain tasks. They laughed at your social media thing. They liked this post. They posted a comment here. They sent you an email. They answered your call, and so the more things that you get the customer to do, the higher the lead score, the more excited the customer is. Therefore, you can then communicate and engage more with that customer. If the customer is disinterested, don't piss them off by sending 13 carrier pigeons, right? That's bad. Now you just creep them out, right? So, 13 pigeons.
You're sending owls like it was Hogwarts?
Yeah, exactly. That's too many, right? Like an owl shows up with a freaking message, and I didn't even click on the damn, email. I'm like, yo, this is a little weird, right? Like, okay, I'm unsubscribing because you're creeping me out. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we have some shout outs to do. We have likes on our live stream, at least on Facebook. I don't know about LinkedIn.
Oh, sweet. Who do we got?
We got FXC Dominus. That
sounds like cool.
Is that a person or a company?
No, that's my buddy Jomer from the Philippines.
Jomer. What up, Jomer? Dennis Colon, I guess it is. Not Colon, probably. Colon.
Oh yeah, he runs we run events and whatnot, and he actually helps us host them at one of the bars. So
nice. How do you pronounce that last name?
I actually don't know.
Fair enough. Anyway, what up, Dennis? And Yuko Dana.
Yuko? I don't actually know Yuko. That's a new name for me. So yeah. Anyway, cool. Shout outs. That's cool.
What up? Thanks for watching. If you post a comment, we'll read it out live. We don't even charge like a super chat. Can you see if anyone's watching live on LinkedIn?
I will take a peek while you talk about the next piece.
The next one. We do have to get moving. We spend so much time apart. We got so much catching up to do. Number 2 thing not to do: generic content garbage. Don't let AI write like a bored intern. Metaphor. If you're just prompting, write an email about my product, you're going to get spam fodder. Fix. Train your AI with brand voice, past successful campaigns, and a little sass. Take it easy on the sass. I'm getting sassed out by AI these days.
Sometimes the sass is a little on the high.
Yeah, you got some nerve there, ChatGPT. I'm doing a job for nail polish company right now that has this sort of goth badass vibe to it, and it's really fun writing for them. So
Mm.
you can get pretty sassy about it.
Turn the sass to 11.
Yeah, like I created the 404 page. If anyone catches a page that doesn't exist, I
Yeah,
wrote, "Oopsie, this page doesn't exist." But don't worry, we've got lots of pages that do exist. Check these
nice.
ones out. Right.
I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
it says hook. I don't know what it means by hook. All these have a hook on them. If your email reads like it was written by ChatGPT with a hangover, no one's clicking. Or I would say if it reads like it was written by ChatGPT, no one's clicking. Like try to get away
Right.
from it sounding like AI can sound like not AI. So do that.
But that's just it though. If you use a generic prompt, you will get a generic answer, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Here's the
Yeah.
problem though, right? A lot of people are absolute trash at writing. So even the crappy chat GPT is better than them writing it themselves. So it's still an upgrade, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not slagging these people who can't write. I mean, like they're a plumber, right? You don't judge a
Yeah.
fish
Yeah.
on its ability to climb a tree, right? The plumber
Mhm.
doesn't know how to write copy, so he does his best, right? And so it's if it's still better than your writing, bad is better than nothing, right? I'm sure you've seen it online where you know that this person is a complete moron, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, how the hell are they getting so many customers? And you look at their stuff and it's absolute trash. Like their video is garbage, their content is garbage, their images are garbage. I'm like, you can totally tell that this is like really, really bad mid journey. And their prompt was absolute garbage. And all their content is written by ChatGPT. And it's just really, yeah, but that's just it though, right? Like I mean, it's still if it's better than their base ability, like it took me a while to understand this. Bad is better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
And done
Yeah.
is better than not. So, yeah, don't let AI write like a bored intern. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, start to understand how AI is actually used, right? Like don't just go, "Hey, write me a social post." And that's the
Mhm.
entire prompt. Right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is who I am. This is who I'm targeting. This is the feeling I want them to have. Write me a post that generates this. And I don't know how to write the prompt. Can you ask me a couple of questions so that you can write the prompt for me? Ta-da, right? And
Yeah.
that humility in the prompt request where you're like, dude, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Can you help me write this? This is what I want. Ask me questions so that I'm not dumb. And when you write the prompt, my prompt doesn't suck ass. Awesome. You get a better prompt out of it. So, take the time to learn. I mean, that's a 5-minute lesson, right? I taught this to on stage in front of like 1,000 people, and they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, people still don't know how to do this? Man, right? So, if you're not a prompt engineer, make AI prompt engineer itself.
That makes sense. All right, we better hustle here. So segment 3 is the red hot tip. I guess I'm not supposed to be reading the segment part. That's probably just instructions for me. Train your AI on past winners. Oh, that is good. That is good. Feed your AI 5 to 10 of your best performing emails and ask it to write in that style for your next campaign. Prompt tip: analyze these emails and write a new promo using their structure, tone, and rhythm. Hook: your AI doesn't need to guess what works. You've already got a cheat code.
So agreed. And damn it, I didn't read that. That's part of my hack.
Oh
But
no.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So, it's just like studying for school, right? So
Yeah.
let's say that you're studying, I don't know, physics or whatever, right? And you can grab the tests from the past 3 years and you grab those tests and use them as a study guide to figure out what the hell you're supposed to study. Well, there's no difference, right? If you give it the ones that win, of course it's going to write stuff like that. It's garbage in, garbage out, right? So, but if you give it good stuff in, good stuff out. So when you train it, right, it's the same thing as training a child, right? If you screw up your kid and you teach them that the purple crayon is called green, right? Of course they're going to be like, no, they'll fail kindergarten, right?
Right.
So the same thing goes with your AI. Treat it like a child, right? Like, hey, look, these are the ones that were awesome. I need you to extrapolate on awesome, and then it can, right? Whereas if you just tell it, yo, write stuff, why does it suck at writing stuff? Because you didn't give it any context or content or explanation of what was good. The same thing would happen with an employee. You hire a new person. They don't know you. They don't know your company. They don't know your mission, vision, value. They don't know your voice. They don't know your tone. Right.
Yeah.
And if they're sassy and they write something sassy for like a freaking financial company, that's not going to fly. Right. So yeah, your other, goth lipstick, whatever thingy, cool. SaaS works there because that's what they're expecting. Right. But if you write this for the Financial Times, not so good. Right.
Yeah, if you use a sassy metaphor, let's start planning your retirement like a crack addict on doomsday. No, let's not. Don't say that.
Apparently, I got in shit.
Oh,
So we did a talk in front of the Greater Vancouver Real Estate Board,
hmm.
and someone's like, "Well, what if you use AI for evil?" And I'm like, and so here's the analogy I gave, and I got in crap for it apparently, and I don't care because this is my fucking show. So
Yeah.
and so the analogy was, okay, so you can use AI for evil, you can use AI for good. I can take a gun, and this is where I got in trouble, right, and protect my farm from coyotes, or I can take the same gun and accidentally shoot myself in the foot. And like that's, they're like, dude, that's too crass. I'm like, you just asked me about AI for evil. So you want to talk about Terminators, and I told you about a gun for coyotes and a gun for your foot, and that's too far. Screw you guys. So,
People object to the concept of using a gun for something.
well, they said using AI for evil. I'm like, I can use a shovel for evil, right? so,
Yeah.
so same thing, right? So there you go. But I mean, it's a weapon if used for the wrong thing. It's a tool if it's used for the right thing. So the same holds true for the shovel, the gun, and artificial intelligence, right? So
Yep.
yeah, there you go. Anyway, it's
Fair enough.
time. It's
time
time.
for
So I'm gonna push the button.
Hack of the week.
Hack of the week. So build a custom GPT that knows your brand. And the way it figures this out, your message, your voice is a couple things, right? And number one, upload your LinkedIn to it. Just take your whole LinkedIn profile, click the entire thing, package it up, turn it into a PDF, fire it to sacrifice it to the ChatGPT gods. Next thing is your website, your manuals, your best performing emails, because clearly I didn't read the segment before I did the thing. And then ask ChatGPT to write a prompt for you to write the best types of emails for your clients. Again, you can use all the segmentation that we talked about. Upload your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile, to the system and really dial into that model. And then subscribe to people that you admire, because there's other people in your space, similar space, cross spaces that don't even compete with you, that have really cool styles, and you can grab their methodologies, their models, right, their emails, subscribe to everything, right? Even the guys who email you 10 times a day, package that crap up, turn it into a PDF, and feed it again, sacrifice it to the ChatGPT gods. And what happens is that when you feed that to the custom GPT, you get the best of multiple worlds, and you kind of win. And so what you do is you pair that with some other excellent AI tools. Smartwriter.ai is pretty good. Instantly.ai is a classic for cold email. Seventh Sense, Copy.ai. All these, there's the funny thing is, if you want to learn all this stuff, just ask AI. So hey AI, I want to get into email. What are the cool email tools, and which one should I check out first? And it'll poop out a table of these things for you, right? And then last but not least, you can use OpenAI's GPT inside of your CRM. So one of the things that we do is, we built an AI, and it reads the messages across the board, and it knows what's going on, and it stores it all, and then it has all this custom stuff to it. So it sounds like us, it feels like us, and then it segments it for the client and talks to the client the way the client wants to be talked to. And that's magic, right? That unto itself. And the fact that you can connect OpenAI to something like Go High Level and make them do stuff, right, and talk to each other, and then build this off of like a custom, magic happens, right? Your emails are all of a sudden super personalized. Your segmentation is just on point, right? Your timing is perfect. Email the nighttime people at nighttime, email the morning people in the morning when they like to receive this stuff, right? So they're staring at their inbox because this person always opens their email at 7 p.m. Well, give him crap at 7 p.m. Why? He likes it.
Yeah.
That's when he reads, right? So for a human to figure this stuff out would take forever. AI sees it right away. So you can start seeing those segments right away. So yeah, it's funny how like I I didn't even read all the crap, and I'm reading the thing for the hack week. I'm like, okay, this is how you fix your shit, and it's like, oh, it just combines all the stuff that the AI talked about. So apparently, I give AI 2 thumbs up today because it's
Yeah.
oh my god, it's
There, hooray!
I keep forgetting to turn that off. I don't know how to turn that off. I'm gonna Google this after.
I just noticed that the what do you call it? The subtitles on Facebook automatically stars out the swear words.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like the fact it does that. Oh, and there's one shout out actually. Let me see here. There is a like on the LinkedIn side, and her name is Daniela. So Daniela, thank you for liking our stuff.
What up?
So apparently she's a CRM person. So I gave a bunch of CRM stuff by accident. So
there
you go. Enjoy.
Did maybe LinkedIn suggested it to her because it knows she's a CRM person. We're talking CRMs.
Maybe.
So you can, because I was trying to do this with project management. I was like, I want my project management software where I can manage my tasks, but I want ChatGPT to be able to read that and say, hey, pay attention. You need to do this project right now. Like
you can do that. So what I've done is I exported my project management stuff to a CSV, dumped it into ChatGPT, and said, yo, I need you to prioritize this stuff. I want you to prioritize it based on this must be done before this. Like, yeah, I can't make the website without the copy, right? Mm-hmm. I can't make the website without your freaking logo or your color schema. So like you can tell it rule systems and it'll follow it. So this is what I did. I actually had a long ass conversation with ChatGPT. Yo, this is all the crap I'm working on. Boom, 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 boom. And I talked to it for like a good 3 hours, right? And it segmented everything, told me what to do, built my schedule, and then threw in my schedule for me. I'm like, that's kind of magic, right? And so now if I have a bad day and I really just don't feel like thinking, I just surrender my life to ChatGPT and it tells me what to do. And like a monkey, I just push the button like the Jetsons, right? And then work gets done, stuff gets managed. And even if I'm having a bad day, I still make progress.
Nice.
I guess that being said, that's a wrap.
We're right on time.
Right? Yeah.
Perfect. I guess we haven't lost it all this time off. We still kept in form.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Well, that being said, time for thank yous. Thank you so much, Dan, for being my co-host, my friend.
Yeah, well, thank you, Earl, for doing a great show for us. Thank you to our viewers, FX Dominus, Dennis Colon, and Yuko Dana, and also Daniela, was it? Whatever her last name was.
Yes.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for watching, even those of you that didn't, show up on our social media or watching this later in recorded format. We love you all. Thank you, ChatGPT, for doing the hard work for us, and play us out.
Cheers, everybody. Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
All right, got that part.